Once upon a time, there was a young man named Michael living in the United States. Michael was hardworking. He had a good job, earned a decent salary, and received a paycheck every month. But there was one problem. Even though his income kept increasing, his wealth wasn't growing. Every month, his paycheck would arrive, then disappear into rent, utility bills, car payments, entertainment, vacations, and new gadgets. By the end of the month, very little money was left. One day, Michael visited his grandfather and asked, "Grandpa, I work hard every day, but I don't seem to be getting wealthier. Why is that?" His grandfather smiled and took him into the backyard. There, Michael saw two small plants growing in the garden.
"Take a good look at these plants," his grandfather said. Michael looked at them and replied, "They're tiny." His grandfather nodded. "Yes, they are small today, but if I take care of them consistently, they will grow into large trees and eventually produce fruit year after year." Then he pointed at the plants and said, "Think of these as assets. If you nurture them, they will eventually start working for you." Michael listened carefully. His grandfather continued, "Most wealthy people own many assets, but their journey usually begins with just a few. Two of the most powerful assets anyone can start with are investing and business ownership."
Michael became curious. "What's the first one?" His grandfather pointed to the first plant, the stock market. He explained, "When you buy shares of a great company, you become a small owner of that business. If the company grows, your investment can grow along with it." Then he added, "Imagine investing a portion of your income every single month. At first, the amount may seem small, but over time, compound growth can do something remarkable." For the first time, Michael began to understand. Then his grandfather walked him over to the second plant. "The second asset is a business." Michael immediately replied, "But starting a business requires a lot of money, doesn't it?" His grandfather laughed. "Not necessarily anymore." He explained that in today's digital world, people can start online stores, create digital products, build websites, offer services, create content, or solve problems for customers online. "The beginning may be small," his grandfather said, "but a successful business can eventually create an entirely new stream of income." Michael thought for a moment. "So is having a job a bad thing?" "Not at all," his grandfather replied. "A job provides income. Assets create wealth." That sentence stayed in Michael's mind. The very same day, he made a decision. He would start investing part of every paycheck, and he would begin building a small online business on the side. The following month, Michael started investing 20% of his income. At the same time, he launched a simple website and began offering digital services. The journey wasn't easy. Sometimes the stock market dropped, sometimes customers didn't show up, sometimes he felt like he was wasting his time, and sometimes he wondered if he was capable of succeeding at all. But whenever he felt discouraged, he remembered the two small plants in his grandfather's garden. He understood something important. You don't plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. So he kept going. Month after month, he continued investing. He improved his business, he learned new skills, he read books, he studied successful people, and most importantly, he stayed consistent. 1 year passed. His investments had started to grow. His business was generating a little extra income. Then 2 years passed. His customer base expanded. The side income from his business steadily increased. Eventually, it was approaching the amount he earned from his job. Then 5 years went by. His investment portfolio had grown significantly. His business was producing consistent income every month. For the first time in his life, Michael wasn't relying on a paycheck alone. He now owned assets that were working for him. He continued investing. He continued growing his business. And by the end of 5 years, Michael's net worth had reached nearly $300,000. This wealth didn't come from winning the lottery. It didn't come from an inheritance, and it certainly didn't come from luck. It came from consistent investing, patience, discipline, and building assets that increased in value over time. One day, Michael's friend John came to visit him. John noticed how much Michael's life had changed. He asked, "Michael, how did you transform your financial situation?" Michael smiled. "I never stopped working hard. I simply started turning my effort into assets." John looked interested. "What do you mean?" Michael replied, "My investments are one asset. They continue growing over time. My business is the second asset. It generates income even when I'm not actively working every minute." John asked, "Do you think I can do the same thing?" "Absolutely," Michael said. "Every large asset started out small. The difference is that some people begin today while others spend years waiting for the perfect moment." That day, John made a decision. He would start investing part of his income. He would also begin building a small side business. And just like that, his financial journey began. The lesson: simply earning money doesn't make you wealthy. Real wealth is built when you create assets that continue working for you over time. Investing and business ownership are two powerful wealth-building tools that can help create a strong foundation for financial freedom. Because wealthy people don't just work for money. They build assets that make money work for them.